Yeah, so when you enter into Sony Vegas, actually this how my Sony Acid Pro 7 looks like. I've modified it a little bit, but I'm sure if you have never used it before, it will have like another different look, but that shouldn't worry you. Like over here, I'm pretty sure you don't have the audio plugin and the clip properties. So what you can do, let me delete them and show how you can put them over down here. So I'll just press the X and close them. So what you'll like have an empty work area, so you'll just come to view and come to like chopper. You open chopper, here it is. You can maneuver and move to various tabs. Come again to view. If you want like anything like the audio plugin, I usually use this most of my time, so I'll click on it. So if I want the chopper to be on this side, I don't want to be clicking on it every time, so I'll just press this, like I don't know how many dots they are, but you just click on them and hold and drag it and place it like over here. Yeah, that's how you can rearrange your work area to make the work a little bit easier. So we're gonna go through a few things. Like on the file is like the normal thing. If you want to start a new project, you click on it, rename it, but I don't find it useful most of the times if you want to do like the mixes. If you want to, like, you are working on a project and you left it pending and or saved it for later, you continue to do it later, you just open it. It will take you where your folders where your projects are. So here are a couple of ones that I've been working on, so that's where you go and get your projects, your project that you've been working on. Here is like when you're doing the project, you just press Ctrl S, or you just come to file and save to avoid like the power. At times when you're working, the power or your laptop may just shut down unexpectedly, so it's better after every move you make, you press Ctrl S. And save as is the same thing, but this one is like for creating. When you're starting a project, you give it a name and saves. It has no big impact, but it helps a lot too. Or for render, let's say you drag an audio, any kind of audio, into the work area. You just come to my computers where your songs are. Like my computers, mine are usually in the local disk D, loaded files. Let's say 2019 music set. I take like the old time, take this song and drag it and place it over here. For this, for now we cancel on this one. Let's say I've already worked on this song, now I wanna render it out, so I'll press file, render as. I wanna render it to my desktop. I'll come, and over here it will be a little bit different. You might find it, over here you may find yours to be on WAV, not this one, wave, I mean wave. So you change it to MP3, and then here you can choose the quality. 320 is the best, because I know since you are a DJ, you know 320 is the best, but it will bring a larger MP3 format, so it's better to save it like at 192 depending on what you want. So you save it, give it a name, save. Another thing, if you had already like looped, if you want to loop this music, you just come at the top and double left click twice. This bar will come up. So if you want to loop, you right click on it and insert and loop back. It will appear blue. So if you zoom out, you'll see. So you can drag this loop anywhere you want. Let's say you don't want to render out the whole clip, so you just, like, say over here you wanna render to here, so you come to file, render as, then you don't you make sure you've checked at times it appears render loop region only but not checked, so you check it and then you save it where you want. But at other times you may find it loop you have not, in the project area you haven't looped anything, but when you come over here it tells you, it shows you a tick, so you must be watchful. Don't waste your time rendering something that has been looped, and in the main project you haven't looped a thing, so you will be watchful. So these are the things, as from export MIDI to exit, I personally usually don't touch anything over there. So we go to edit. Edit is like the normal part where you can do or redo a mistake, you can cut, you can copy. Since you know I believe you know the computer shortcut, the Control C, Control X, Control V. The edit part, I think you won't use it a lot of time. So maybe when you are trying to do some other things like splitting is like cutting an audio into two. So you press S, so there's no need. The shortcuts are kind of easier than coming to edit, starts going down looking for it. So the rest of the things I don't use them. So let me give you an example of the split. So let's remove the loop. You just right click on it and remove the loop. Yeah, so let's say you want to split over here, you just press S on your keyboard. You see it has splitted two different clips. You can push this away, move it. So this you'll use split a lot when it comes to scratching. So I will just press Ctrl Z to undo it. Yeah, we are good. So the view part, as we had started concerning the work area, so you just come and tweak anything that you want. So I can say you usually use like the Explorer, the Chopper, plugin manager. Groove, I really don't know of Groove, so I will just uncheck it. And maybe clip properties. Clip properties is good. It has appeared over here. If I want to change it, once again I will come and press over here and hold it and move it around, but I prefer it being here. So I come back to insert, or insert, I can say, like, the only thing I know about this tab is the marker only. That's the only thing that I know about it. Oh, and another thing, the tempo, key, time signature change, Shift T, only that. Oh, cancel. So let's say my next song, I wanna place my next song over here. I'll just press M on my keyboard to mark it. The marker will appear. So if you zoom in, you can see this. It's a brown line. Yeah, saying like over here you have marked or something. Let's say you want to keep the flow of a song without changing it. At times you may find yourself you have placed the kick or the snare in the wrong box. So you usually want to mark it so that you don't forget where your snare or your kick should have landed, so to keep the music flowing. Yeah, that's the use of a marker, or marking any other thing that you wouldn't want to forget. Yeah. This one will apply Shift T. Oh, it's Shift T. I thought it was just T. When you press T, like over here, the BPM will appear. This is where it's like when you're mixing on a machine and use the tempo fader or the pitch fader to take your music slow or fast. So over here, if I had I can say bit matched this audio track, it would have given me that option to put on my BPM, but I will show you that in the next tutorial, so don't worry about that. Tool, I've never used tool, so I usually don't bother about it. So in the option part is where you a couple of things, like the couple of tricks you'll want to do. You'll have to use like this option area, mostly this grid spacing. Yeah, so if you change like them over here, let me add a new audio track, or control Q. If you see, like there are these boxes from a bold line to a thin line, bold line to a thin line. If you change the grid spacing like to the 64th note triplets, you'll see there are too many bold lines. You can't see the thin line. So working this way, it's like driving blind. Yeah, so it's kind of hard. So but in the coming tutorials, I'll show you how to use this 64th triplet to make a kind of a good scratch. So you use rulers, and make sure the snapping is enabled, so that when you move this music track, it lands on either the thin line or the bold line. If you uncheck it, it will just move randomly, and this will be really tough when it comes to mixing. So it's better if you put it, you enable it, so that you can snap on the lines. Yeah, another thing over here, it's like starting a new project, opening, and it has no different with the things in the file. Saving, I don't publish, I really don't use it. Get media from web, nobody does that. Cutting is there, like the cutting and copying, the same thing. Undo, redo. Also over here, these other things like enable snapping, I believe is this one. I've never used it. Over here, the only thing I usually touch is this pen, draw tool, and this eraser tool. Only these two, this and this only. So another thing, this is where we will control the volume of our music. If we can take it forward to add volume, take it back to reduce it, or when you want it to be like a default volume, just left click twice faster, so that it can be 0 0. The same thing here. So if let's say you or like all these tabs usually come with the name of the track that you have loaded. Like this one, you see, it is Alicia's, and the same here, Alicia's. But this one, it's empty, so it will be empty. But I can rename it by double left clicking, double clicking on it, and renaming. I can say like reverb. Yeah, so here I can apply on this this work area over here. Now I can apply when I drag my music or my song below here, everything below here will have a reverb. So you should be watchful not to place the whole music over here, because when you place it over here, somebody will hear like the song is playing on a reverb all the way, and it will be irritating. So there are some effects like you may use, I can say not effects, scratches. When you scratch, you like to make your scratch to be heard in a reverb, so you just drag it down a little, and then it will be heard on a reverb. Then you continue working on where there is no reverb. Since we touched on the basics of the interface, I think we are good. So in the next tutorial, I'll show you like how to load music and do a couple of things.